This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Brian Castle will join us on the way from his Basement Dungeon Studio Bar. Once again, we will sit and spin. Today we've got the 10 songs that bands always play live in concert. They crunched down the numbers and figured out if you're going to go see this band, you're about 100% positive they're going to play this one song. So that's coming up as we sit and spin. On to Tennessee on our question. As a representative of Dollar General reported at 10:24 a.m., April 5th, the two women tried to buy several gift cards with a counterfeit $1 million bill.
That'll fool them.
One of the women said she received the $1 million bill in the mail from a church, and she was going to buy items for care packages for homeless people, according to the incident.
I like her take on it. That, all things considered, the $1 million bill is very, very stupid. It's not going to trick anyone. But her alibi, I thought, okay, you're playing on the heartstrings, sounds solid.
The other woman said she was unaware of the bill and that she was going to pay that way. Both women were given a verbal no trespass warning from the store. So they basically said, like, we really don't think that they didn't know that was a $1 million bill.
I mean, think about this.
I mean, that's serious.
The FBI gets involved with counterfeiting. Like, that's one of their things, all right? And if you're counterfeiting $1 bill, they're going to show the hell up at your house. They're going to arrest you. They're going to throw you in jail. All the stuff, right?
Even if you bleach to 5 to do it.
Doesn't matter. Right. Even if you're economically stupid, right? They're going to... The $1 million bill is so stupid that even the FBI is like, come on.
What is the highest denominator? Is it the $100 bill?
It's the $100 bill now, I believe, but at one point there was a $1,000 bill.
It was a $500 bill for a while.
I remember that. I want to say the highest denominator. We may have actually had like a $10,000 bill for some weird, like one of those war-related reasons kind of things, but it was a limited time.
What do you think? And I'm being dead honest with this, because if you go to Vegas and you need to get $300, they're going to give you three $100 bills.
That is correct.
What do you think is the most least used U.S. currency? So when you think that there's a 50 cent piece still in circulation.
Okay, so we're going coins too?
Well, there's a dollar coin. There is a $2 bill with Benjamin Franklin on it. As you said, there's a $50 bill that no one ever sees.
No, Benjamin Franklin's on the 100.
Oh, he's on the 100, right? Who's on the,
hence the Benji.
No, the Declaration.
It's all about the Benjis.
Declaration of Independence.
He's getting $2 bills. Like, I'm in the money now.
Yeah, that's right. Who's on the two?
I don't remember because it's infrequent. As far as bills go, I'm going to guess the $2 bill is spent the least, followed by probably the 50. That's just my guess.
Okay.
Right, because even when they open the cash drawer, right, and you pay with 100, sometimes they already have the slot for the 100. Sometimes they lift it and throw it underneath, but there's nothing for the 50.
That's a good point.
I never see.
I haven't had a $2 hand in my hand unless somebody specifically had gotten them.
Well, right. I was going to say there's a $2 bill at my house right now because the kids each got one and you have no intention of spending it. Like, it's the only form of currency that I have where there's no intent to actually use it.
Yeah, like I have a few. It's like some foreign currency.
Jefferson's on the $2 bill.
Jefferson. All right, I'm going to say he's used the least, followed by Grant's on the 50. And as far as coins go, I'll say the 50 cent piece, even less than
which is
Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got there, Mike? Got some currency?
Honestly, I was doing some research onto what the highest we've ever had was, and Miles was right. We actually did have the $10,000 bill. And then my next question was, okay, who's on the $10,000 bill?
Is it a president?
It is not a president.
It's not.
No, it is not.
Hang on.
So
not a president.
$10,000 bill.
But it is a portrait of someone.
Is it like Thomas Edison? I'm trying to think who would be a famous American
at
the time.
Is it Hamilton?
No, Hamilton's on the 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of guys.
That's rare.
You have to be like Ben Franklin level, right?
Yeah, it's
be a non-president.
It's got to be Edison then. You know what I mean? Someone who did something significant.
Can you give us how long was it in circulation, Mike?
It was discontinued in 1969.
So it's been
nice.
Huh.
Wow. Year I was born.
It's not Martin Luther King.
You know what? I'll give you guys a clue as to who it is.
Roosevelt.
It is President Lincoln's Secretary of the Treasury.
Damn.
Is that
How the hell
clue?
are we supposed to know that?
I mean, I know.
Do you know the name?
You're not going to get it.
Do you know the name?
It is Salmon P. Chase.
Of course it is.
Salmon
P. Chase. He got made fun of all his life for his name, so they gave him a big dollar bill just to make sure he'd feel better. All right, what's the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced? 206-421-ROCK.
Like salmon or?
Yeah.
Salmon.
Like the shirt.
Don't try to make it's not Solomon. The man's name is Salmon.
I think we can all
Salmon
agree.
P. Chase.
Salmon Chase. How we doing this weekend? Going all same Chase.
You know, Salmon P. Chase. Hello, Monique. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi, guys.
Hola.
Oh, it was also a Chief Justice.
Oh, by the way, Secret Service, not FBI, deals with counterfeiting. My bad. Yeah. Put that in corrections, Mike.
Okay.
Hi, Monique. Welcome to the show.
Hi. So I actually have two stories, and both is when I was working at Lover's Package.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yep.
I would expect to talk to a Monique,
there's
though.
more stories than that, but... What's that?
I said I would expect to talk to someone named Monique at Lover's Package.
Yes.
You have the right name for the job. Like Monique is not the guy or the woman who takes care of me at Jiffy Lube.
And Agnes does not work in the
strip club.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen on the main stage.
Agnes.
I've had people say stuff about my name my whole life, and it's always like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what it sounds like.
It's that name.
It's got that sound.
It's not your fault. It's just where our minds go. Look, again, it could be Agnes. You're fine, Monique.
I look like an Agnes, let's put it that way.
Oh, God.
Right, okay.
I should not have responded like that. I apologize for my honor. Oh, my God.
Here comes on the side stage, Wanda.
I'm just kidding.
So what happened at the Lover's Package?
So the first story is this guy came in, and he was really creepy, and he kept trying to stand really close next to female customers. And then finally he breaks away from everybody, and he goes over into the corner where the adult magazines are. Mm-hmm. And all my coworkers, nobody would say anything to the guy. And here I'm 8 months pregnant, and I'm being the tough one. So I go over to him to tell him that he has to leave the store. And when I go over there, he was doing something that he should not have been doing in the store.
Was he waxing his carrot?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, how long had he been standing there before your problem? I'm trying to get an idea of how long he's standing there flossing the monkey there.
Just a few minutes.
Okay, but I would have to assume that you know to a certain level, based on the way that people are, that this is a possibility. Like, look, it wouldn't surprise me to find a guy masturbating in the corner of a Victoria's Secret. It would in a GameStop.
It would surprise me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like, I believe it.
I think that's even
some whack
worse.
job on meth came in and started, masturbating in Victoria's Secret. But he's not doing it in a GameStop. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when I asked him to leave, he did not go so quietly, and neither did he zip his pants.
So did he just stop when you asked him to leave? Did he finish and then leave, or what?
Oh, yeah, he stopped, and he was very indignant and didn't understand why I was harassing him. And it was like, seriously, dude?
I was going to say, he didn't walk out and still do it. I don't think you can walk and do that at the same time.
No, but he just didn't zip his pants.
Okay. You can, Miles. It's God's Sunday.
Is that right?
Living alone.
Grab something from the kitchen.
You say, get a little snack while at it?
Walking around the kitchen.
I've not done that, but I could.
I'm just saying, I don't think I've ever walked around and done it.
By the way, Monique, I'm just picturing myself. I'm being this guy. I'm masturbating in your store, looking at these magazines, and when I hear this voice asking me to stop, it's an 8-month pregnant woman. I feel like that would just kill my vibe there.
But he acted like... do you know what he said to any of the customers?
No, he just would mumble. He would stand next to female customers and just kind of mumble. He was just really weird.
Okay.
Monique, is there a hierarchy in like sexual shops? Right? It's like Lovers to me is like kind of the top.
Right, like Victoria's Secret is great for lingerie. Frederick's of Hollywood,
Right, but like lovers is like, you would go to a sex shop. By the way, I love that store.
Yeah, I know you do.
But then there's always like, to me, they seem a little seedier when they're right next to the strip club. But I don't know.
I bet they have the higher end stuff in there too, like the bus you can buy and all that stuff. It's not, you know what I mean, just the cheaper stuff.
Yeah,
like an investment. So what was the second time, Monique?
So the second time was a customer who said he was buying something for his buddy's bachelor party. But the thing he was buying was a personal item. It was a toy specifically for men.
Yeah, like a flashlight.
Mold of a porn star.
Oh.
So, yeah, like the high-end one. And he's buying this for a bachelor party.
No, he wasn't.
Well, I know, right? But for some reason, the toy didn't work. And we're allowed to do exchanges for the same exact item. And, stuff like that happens. And we just don't open the package. We exchange it, and they go on with their business. Well, he comes in, and he's insisting that I open the box. And so I open the box, and he picks it up to show me that, it doesn't work, and water falls out of it. Oh, it was so gross.
Monique.
So gross.
That ain't water.
That is not water.
Well, he tried to cover for himself by saying that one of his buddies tripped at the bachelor party and spilled water on
Oh, sure he did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that guy who fell on a glass and went
So
up his
wait,
butt.
so did he exchange this for another one?
Yes, he did.
Did you say to him,
you can't return stuff without exchanging it for the same exact item. There's no return.
Now I got to ask you.
Well, yeah, that's a strong point.
Do you remember who the item replicated?
No, I don't. This was like 20 years ago.
Okay, all right. I'll say
no, I don't remember. But another thing that he did was when he was paying the first time, he opened his wallet and he had a military police badge. And he acted all secretive and said, "Oops, you weren't supposed to see that."
Yeah, you were.
Secret agent, man. He's never done that move before.
Yeah, he knows how to open that.
Look out. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't really just see my bag.
Exactly.
Maybe he was just trying to make me trust him that it was actually for a bachelor party. I don't know.
Hope you didn't see my library card there. I read.
Yeah. There's certain ways to say things or open things.
Yeah, come on, man. It's for a bachelor party. Sure it is. The only reason I don't believe it is because if you're buying the high-end one, that's a lot of coin.
You're not doing that for somebody else.
Right, like, if you're buying that, I would have to, no, this is for me. This is a lot. Or it's for somebody Make-A-Wish. You feel me? But, it's either for someone very close to me or me, but no, we're not going to have fun.
Plus, that is a personal item based on who you find attractive. So you can't make that decision. Especially at that cost. I would have to ask you who you would like. You know what I mean?
But also,
there's only 3 or 4
the term
varieties.
Eskimo brothers because you were both with the same girl at some point.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. But nobody would walk in here and be like, "Hey, you want to borrow this?" No.
I like how you're
having Eskimo
Hey,
brothers.
you throw it at me?
Yeah.
Take one.
No, that's not how it
taste
works.
it. What's the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced? 206-421-ROCK.
It just seems weird to me, though, they have those high-dollar items, right? And you can say this replicates whatever porn star you want to put in there, but it's just her butt and her front butt. And the rest of her's missing. And there's something, at least with the fleshlight, it's this looks like a tool. And then the front of this tool looks like it's designed for its specific purpose, right? But to just have, your ass and your front part, this is like having sex with a severed body.
It would be weird to have sex with someone who's missing a couple fingers, let alone most of their body. What is the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced? 206-421-ROCK.
You got to put whatever you're watching in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like their faces there.
Okay, there you go. Just put the TV on and...
All right. Strategic screen placement.
Yeah. Hello, Ella. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
How are you, Ella?
Okay. I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Thank you.
Okay, so my story just happened this morning.
Oh, good.
And, I was checking into a hotel. I don't know if I can say the name of the hotel or not.
Don't.
Mm-hmm. Unless you want to know what else to check in there.
Yeah, okay. Well, actually, it was a, no, we don't. No. It was a motel, technically. Right. But we were checking in, and we checked in late last night, actually. And about an hour after we checked in, we were just in the room watching TV, and I noticed a bunch of cockroaches crawling on a desk.
That's how you know it's a motel, not a hotel.
So you're staying in a roach motel.
Right. Apparently, but we didn't know that. That's not what we wanted.
Really?
So I went to the front desk, and I told them about it, and they, I wanted a refund. I wanted to change hotels or motels because I've heard that if they're in one room, they're in the whole building.
Yeah, unless you had the special. No, that's our special roach room. We just didn't charge you extra.
We're going to wall to block them from going from one to the other. Okay, so what did they do?
So I wanted a refund, and there was no manager on duty, so they said they couldn't refund us, but they could change rooms. And so they moved us into the next building over, and that was supposed to be, better.
Roach free.
But then we found right, roach free. However, there was a used condom in the top dresser drawer.
You know what you should have done? You should have blown it up and made like a party animal. Like a balloon animal for a kid. Like, here's a giraffe.
But maybe if it hadn't been used, but
make it a sperm whale.
Exactly. Here's a hat. Wear it.
So, which room is worse then?
For that, right?
Is it worse seeing roaches on the desk, or is it worse knowing there's a used condom in a closed drawer beside you?
I'm not sure which. I think the roaches were probably worse, but
I'll make a rattlesnake.
Jesus. So did you spend the night there, or did you leave?
Well, we went down to the office again, and we told the gal that we just wanted a refund. We wanted to leave.
Yes, okay.
And again, because there was no manager, she said she could not give us a refund, and we had to wait for the manager to come on duty in the morning.
Just out of curiosity, what is this? What does this paradise cost you a night?
It was like $70.
That's too much. That is way too much.
I was thinking $39
Right,
I'll do with your roaches and your condoms. But so she says you got to wait till the manager in the morning, at which point you will have spent the night. So what did you choose to do? Or did they offer you a third room, this one with 3 dead mice stapled to a cross in the bathtub?
Well, we had booked the motel for 2 nights.
Okay.
And we're not supposed to leave until tomorrow. So
all right, so let me ask you.
We got a third room.
Oh, you got a third room.
Oh, all right.
Okay, now, was everything okay with the third room?
No, of course not.
What was wrong with the third room?
It was disgusting.
Were you able to...
There was like this horrible... Sorry?
Go ahead. Horrible what?
Okay, there's horrible, like, chemical smell in the room. I don't know what it was, but it was just making me sick.
All right.
I was nauseous. It was...
That's because they had to clean up after the person that was killed there the week before.
Or it was meth production.
It's meth. It's meth coming in.
Okay, let me ask you this now. Were you able to have sex in that bedroom? Were you guys able to just cut through it and say, you know what, man, we got a room anyway. Let's just get this over with. Were you able to fight through it?
I have a condom at the ready.
No, I'm not going to lie.
You couldn't fight through it?
We did have sex when I woke up this morning.
All right, there you go.
Oh.
Okay. Because when you get in a hotel room and you're a couple, you at least want to do that. Motel, wherever you are.
Roaches, condom. They're still having sex.
I wouldn't go down.
I don't care if it smells like meth in here.
You didn't go down to the ice machine and get a bucket of ice, did you? Did you go get a bucket of ice?
No.
All right.
No, certainly not.
Was the motel the only option in a small town, or cost efficiency?
No, actually, it was a larger town, larger city, and there was many hotels, and we haven't had a problem with this particular chain ever. So, and we like to stay at this chain of motels. So.
Look at it like this. It's like you went to McDonald's, and at this particular location, sure, there's a severed finger on the bun. But generally speaking, McDonald's is
I can't believe this is a chain. I figured it would be a one-off.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Miles' joint. Especially when the marquee says, like, we have HBO and roach-free rooms.
If there's a chain, just remember the bright side of it is you get points. So that's...
Stay there for cheaper.
Big day for points, Miles.
What's the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced? 206-421-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. Yeah! You're in the men's room.
A man used a bicycle as a weapon against an Applebee's cook during a bizarre outburst. The suspect allegedly made a scene at one of the restaurant chains in Wisconsin involving yelling racial slurs at other customers, including children. When authorities later located the man, they reportedly found that he had dynamite in his bag. Matthew Arnst reportedly yelled and screamed at customers. According to reports, he brought a bicycle into the restaurant. When a cook came out of the kitchen and told Arnst to leave, suspect allegedly picked up said bicycle and swung it at the cook, striking him in the stomach. He was eventually arrested. Our question, what is the most ridiculous customer interaction that you either had or experienced? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Heidi. Welcome to the men's room.
What are the chances?
Hola.
Hola.
So the most ridiculous thing that happened to me was I, years ago, worked at a child care center. And we closed at 6, and at 6 o'clock I had these twin brothers that hadn't been picked up. So we started calling and the emergency card and just seeing who was available to pick them up. And turns out the mother was out of town, so she wasn't picking up her phone. And they had a babysitter who was supposed to come and pick them up who was not answering her phone. So for about an hour and a half, we were calling everybody on their emergency list. And eventually the mom called us, receiving one of our messages, was absolutely irate with us, with, our staff, and asked us if we could drive the boys to her brother's house. And it's against the policy. So we said, I'm sorry, we can't do that. We're not allowed to take them in our vehicle. We don't have the insurance for that. And she was so mad. Eventually, their uncle came about 15 minutes after that, for like an hour and 45 minutes. And he was mad because he had to leave a dinner party to pick them up. In the meantime, I missed a Christmas party for my staff. And then she was even more irate when we gave her the late bill the next week because she didn't think she should have to pay for it when her babysitter flaked out.
But I mean, I remember putting my kids in daycare or whatever the hell, and like all of that stuff is told you up front. And because of that late fee, it's like, look, man, you find a goddamn way to pick these because you just don't want to pay it, and you don't want to burden someone.
So she was just livid at the whole situation.
Okay,
but we were like, look, it's not our fault your babysitter flaked, but we can't take your kids. We're not taking them home for the weekend. We don't know what to do. You got to have.
Why other people do?
Well, wait. Now, here's my question though. How long would you guys wait with the kids? Because I understand policy, you can't take them anywhere, right? So now it's 9:30, and for whatever reason, you can't get in contact with anyone, right?
We call the police.
Oh, yeah? And then what, the cops?
That was policy, to call the police and then, discuss what to do then.
Huh.
So, but I mean, most of it, we've never had a problem where we couldn't reach someone.
Well, that's good.
Was on an emergency list. So
yeah, well, that's the right the
emergency
right protocol.
Damn.
What's the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced? 206-421-ROCK.
Here's one from the comments, and I worked in restaurants for years. I've never had this experience. It says I worked at a restaurant that a gentleman was chewing the food for his significant other and spitting it into her mouth like a bird. And they follow it. I don't think she had any teeth.
Oh, no.
That firm.
Oh, man. What do you think the food item was?
Man, just don't go out to a restaurant, man. I don't know if I can finish my meal if I'm sitting there and that table's in front of me like, I can't eat this.
I bet it was ciabatta. It was either that or a bagel. I'm trying to think it was something, you know what I mean? It's kind of tough to get through, but you might need a little assistance.
But wait,
maybe it was a clam.
But how mad do you get?
Swallow
just start it for me, baby. But how mad do you get if it's like, look, you're the toothless one. Why do you keep ordering sandwiches on ciabatta, man? Because now I have to do, just get the goddamn Jell-O.
You can't get just regular corn at the crab pot. You have to get it on the cob.
Why do I have to do this?
I got you, woman. Open your mouth. You like that butter? You need more butter on that? Hold on, let me dip it in more butter.
Oh, you want peanuts too? I'm just saying, look, I will take you out to dinner, but you can't order the stuff you can't chew because I'm tired of chewing it for you. Every time we go out, I'm explaining to people, listen, she doesn't have teeth. That's why I'm spitting food into her mouth. I'm kind of tired of it.
No mashed potatoes? Okay.
God damn it.
Keep looking at it. You have soup?
Don't get french fries, get mashed potatoes. It's the same thing. Please. Just get a food that you can chew.
Are these red mashed potatoes with skins or out?
I'm sorry for all the questions. It's important. Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How you guys doing?
Doing great.
So, I worked at a, Subway, just years and years and years ago. But anyway, I was a sandwich artist, and I was there for about 3 months. And I thought I loved the job, but I got too used to just too many picky people and super long lines. And the funny story is it was in a YMCA out there in Tacoma. But anyway, I had this one customer order a sandwich. And so I make her sandwich. I'm doing all this, and I get to the end, and we're in a dinner, not like a dinner rush, but we're in a rush. And at the very end, I wrap her sandwich, and I put it in the bag, and the next thing she says is, "Okay, and for my next sandwich."
Oh, jeez.
Well, you got to know the Subway system.
Here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Well, the thing is that you got to know
Subway.
I thought you said Essie, dude.
No, I said kidding.
Oh, gotcha. My bad. That's on me.
Hey, but feel good. You got dumped and didn't do anything wrong. That's a special treat.
I know, right?
But you got to know Subway protocol, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to know that.
Right.
Maybe she didn't know, but still, you got to know that.
But in what other capacity do you do that? Like, if we go to the bar and there's 4 of us at the table, it's like, could I get a men's room red? But I'm going to wait for you to leave and come back with my drink. He would,
right. You don't even go to McDonald's and ring up one hamburger and they go, and I want a fry.
Right. And not only that, I feel bad because the lady, she's standing there, and not only does she have to deal with me, who's getting irritated, but she has to deal with 20 other people. I'm like, wow.
Well, it's a good thing it's not on the East Coast.
It's like, dude, you're at Subway. You're not defusing a bomb. This is not difficult.
I mean, I think you got to say you're ordering all the sandwiches up front.
Yes! And, and here's the thing about it, Kev. Like, the truth is, it's no extra work for you. It's just like if one more customer came in. But the principle of the matter is, you're so stupid, you've now pissed me off. It's the same difference. If one extra customer comes in, I'm making it. Why can't you just tell me this? How many people bitched about her after she left?
Oh, man. I got, probably no more than 10 eye rolls at the same time.
Sure.
And not only that, let's watch out for that lady again.
What when you were closing up, man, you get a sandwich to take for the road?
What was that?
When you're closing up, do you get to take a sandwich?
Yeah.
Well, okay, what was your go-to sandwich to take home?
My go-to sandwich was most likely the spicy Italian, and when they have the pizzas there, and I would load those things up too.
Spicy Italian BMT, that's what the...
But did you ever create your own thing, man? I mean, that's the thing. Like, you got chicken, you got bacon, you got this, you got that. I mean, what was your best creation? That's not on the menu.
My best creation, I would take the spicy Italian, but I would add, bacon and ham. I'm a meat guy. I want all the meats, and then I'll just do, little lettuce and maybe... some mayonnaise and pepper and salt. It doesn't take much.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, toasted.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I always like a hot Italian, man.
I don't know. I go back and forth on the
Italian, to me, has got to be cold.
Really? I like it hot. Because the provolone melts.
But I don't like their bread when they toast it. I like Subway's bread, even though it doesn't qualify as bread. And what's it, Ireland or something?
Most countries.
But when they toast it, something about it, I don't like it.
So I don't mind their bread being toasted. I'm just saying, in general, to me, an Italian sub should be cold.
Sure.
What's the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced? 206-421-ROCK.
Dude, I had a Subway in a building I lived in, which, by the way, in turn means you'll eat more Subway than you ever thought.
Yes, you will, if it's right there.
I don't know that I've been to one. But one morning I walk in, right, and I'm kind of hungover. I think somebody dropped me off. And the girl is super nice, right, but it just seems a little off.
Okay.
And I think I ordered something simple, like a meatball sub or whatever. She's like, okay. And looks down the line at the other lady, and the other lady's like, it's her first day. And she's real smiling.
Doing this.
Has some cool tattoos. And then I was like, yeah, just meat. So she's like, just meatballs and cheese. I was like, that's it. Blah, blah, blah. And about halfway down the line, which it didn't need anything else, she just looks up at me and goes, I just got out of prison. I tipped her $5.
All right.
Way to get back in there.
That's right. And she bought crack with that, went right back. Hello, Diana. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
I'm just have to say I've listened to you guys for years, and I'm so excited to talk to you for the first time.
Oh,
I'm
appreciate
a
it.
big fangirl.
Well, welcome to the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you. So I work for animal control, so I have a lot of ridiculous interactions. But the one that just takes the cake is I had a woman who was carrying around her deceased dog and sleeping with it for several days.
God.
So, it was really, it was like by the time we had gotten there, it had been nearly a week, so it had started decomposing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was like in bed with her. I know, it was terrible. I know, it was awful. Eventually, we convinced her to just bury the dog.
What was it? A larger animal?
No, it was a little dog. She was just carrying it, around as if it was still alive.
Every time I put my animals down, they just poop like crazy.
Did she carry it in public?
They do.
Just outside. She didn't go anywhere. It was just outside in her yard. She'd do gardening and bring it out with her. And
how long did it take you to convince her that this decomposing mammal that she's sleeping in bed with would be better off underground?
Oh, it was several hours because she had to have a ceremony for it. So I told her we would return a few hours later for her ceremony.
You didn't stay for the ceremony?
Yeah, well, I couldn't. Yeah, she didn't the ceremony.
Your lack of respect.
Now, let me ask you a serious question here. Obviously, this person is not all there, right?
No, she was not.
Was she a little bit more elderly?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously you would think that she didn't do anything without this dog for most of her life. So this is her true companion. Could she realistically go to an animal shelter and adopt an animal at this point in her life?
If you knew that about her?
Or, it seems a little odd, but it still seems like it's hard. You got to go through a process. So I'm just wondering.
No, we still would. She took care of the dog until it was dead.
You know what? That is a fair point. She took care of the dog after it died.
Yeah.
So yeah. Wow, man. Did it when you show up there? Does it just reek?
Oh yeah. Yes.
So it just smells like a dead animal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she didn't make any effort to do anything to cover that up or wrap the dog up?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Was the dog wearing a sweater?
Nope, it was not.
Okay.
How big was it?
It was just it was a smaller dog, maybe 20 pounds, 15.
Oh. That seems bigger than I expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm big enough for you to go look, even if I had a Chihuahua, hey kids, we're going to go ahead and bury her because, there's maggots in her.
What was her explanation again?
She, not really. She just kept saying that it was fine and, it wasn't time yet to bury it. But, it was green, the skin was all.
She was aware that the dog had passed on. It just wasn't time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but
you feel bad because
but she must have spent so much time. It was just her and that dog.
Mm-hmm. But you ain't got to worry about that dog's life. Was it a good life or was it look, I love that you rub my belly, but you got.
I'm just trying to think. I know somebody who's just as a person who can't take care of a dog anymore, right? I know this woman. She just lost her dog, right? Would this be a good fit? And I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I don't know if I'm.
But see, that's the problem.
I don't know if I'm of the skill level to make this call or not.
But she made a good point. She said, look, there was no question that she took care of the dog, right?
Yes.
But in spite of that, I don't know if I would let her adopt one, because obviously I'm sure she loves her animals. I have no doubt. But I just feel no.
Oh, I'm giving her a new one.
You're giving her a new dog?
Yeah. She loved that dog. She loved any dog.
Dude, the last dog been dead for a week. It was green and decomposing. She stopped.
So I'm kind of wondering what decision making she would make with one that was alive.
Well, if somebody's wife dies, now granted, you wouldn't keep her body in the house. Sure, it's happened. Mm-hmm. You're gonna feel really bad for a while, but you get to marry again. Let her have a dog.
But the difference, Ted. If some chick goes, I heard that Ted's first wife died. You go, yeah, it was a tragic thing, man. He loved her. And she's like,
still in the closet.
Well, we went on a date. One thing you should know about Ted, he took great care of her, man. Loved her to death. And he has said great things about you. But I don't know if he told you this. When she died, he slept in the same bed with her for a week until she was green and decomposing, and we finally convinced him maybe we should do a memorial. I'm just saying at that moment, in spite of how well you've treated her, and no one questioned your character, but you go, I don't know if this is a guy for me anymore. That's the difference. You see? So I know she took good care of this dog, but I can't move past it's green and decomposing, and it's been a week.
Hey, look over at Ted's shelter. We're moving animals. All right.
Anybody.
That's the point. We got to move these animals out.
What's the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced? 206-421-RIDE.
When I go back to the damn shelter, I'm going to have the boss all over me because we got too much inventory.
It's given away. Hey, Justin, welcome to the men's room.
Yo-ho, what's happening?
Hola!
What's up?
What's up, Justin?
All right, so I was at a restaurant out in Bonnie Lake. Can I say the name?
You don't have to.
So we were out there, and we got our drinks right when you first sit in, get our drinks. It spills a little bit. Yeah, no big deal. Asked the waitress, hey, can I get a couple napkins so I can clean this up? And she's like, snippety, and yeah, I'll be right there. And she's taking her time, so I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll just go up to the bar and ask her a couple napkins. And she turns around and says, I told you I'll be right there. She's like, whoa, all right. And unfortunately, she was our waitress for the rest of the night. And then she's just very rude. So then at the end of the night, I was like, hey, when you get the chance, can you come over to our table? I got a couple questions for you. And I said, what did we do for you to treat us this way? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, right there, you're being a bee. And she had a platter with empty drinks on it, and she picked it up and squeaked and slammed them on the table, and glasses shattering all over our table. And then she grabbed my friend's beer, picked it up, and slammed it on the table, glasses shattering everywhere, beer went all over me, and then I got kicked out. Security came grabbing me, and I was hooting and hollering at that point. I was real mad. And the cops ended up coming. They didn't do nothing, and then they're like, you need to pay your tab. I was like, I ain't going to pay nothing. And, yeah.
Okay. I bet you're fun to party with.
Sounds like a good night. Good night, yeah. That's, it should never get to the point. Let the cops call.
Oh, my God.
Just saying.
Do we try one more call?
Sure.
What's the most ridiculous customer interaction that you've either had or experienced?
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I worked at a take and bake pizza place at the time, and I was closing up. It was 10 minutes till close. We did carry out orders. And a lady calls 10 minutes before, and she asked to place. And we tell her, ma'am, we can make your pizza. You know, we were a little disgruntled about it. But, you know, if you can be here by 9 p.m., we'll sell you your pizza. She says, oh, my husband's on his way. And I'm like, all right. I had already cleaned up everything that evening. So 9 o'clock rolls past. He never showed up. It's about 9:05, 9:10 by now. Counted down my register and locked the door. So I hear a knock at the door, and man's there, you know, well-dressed guy, seems pretty civil. And I was like, sorry, sir, we're closed through the glass, that is. And he goes, no, my pizza's already made. And I was like, it's store policy. We have to be closed at this time. He goes, yeah, but you already made the pizza. You can sell it to me. And I was like, no, I can't. Granted, I probably could have just opened back up my register, but I was 17 and I didn't really care enough. So he goes, open the door right now. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. Like, again, it's against store policy. And he goes, open this door so I can teach you a lesson. And I was like, sir, there's no need to be hostile. And he goes, open the door so I can come in there and kick your ass. And I stopped for a second, and I just said, no. It was like in Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny. The French guy tells Jack Black to come closer so he can stab him. And he sat out the door just waiting for me to open it up. So I just sat in there. He called corporate and told corporate that I had mooned him, given him the finger. So I got called into work the next morning. The boss asked me what happened. I was usually into submit shift, so I didn't like them looking at the security tapes. And I told her, check the security tapes. And she said that was enough for her, and the matter was resolved. They called the wife, and the wife said, yes, my husband does have anger issues, but he was ready to knock down the door and to beat me up over a pizza.
Do you remember what kind of pizza they ordered?
It was like a half cheese, half pepperoni. It wasn't even worth fighting about.
Right, come on, man. Hey, what are the... Open the doors so I can kick your ass. All they get this spot. No,
it sounds like a horrible idea.
I'm out. It's going to be no for me, dog.
Ryan Castle on the way. We will sit and spin with the 10 songs and bands always play in concert. You are listening to The Men's Room.